This moment, right now, is holy, and I am here. Not later when you feel stronger, not after you finally figure it out, not when the tears stop and the questions get quieter. I am here now, breathing peace into the room you thought was empty, standing close in the place you thought you were left behind. You did not stumble into this night by accident. I brought you here to be held. I see you in the dim light, with your body tired but your mind refusing to rest. I hear the thoughts that keep circling, the same questions repeating like a whisper you can't turn off. I see the phone that stays silent, the messages you hoped would come, the calls you keep checking for, the confirmation you keep waiting to hear. I know the ache of the unanswered prayer, not because I am far, but because you are human and the waiting feels heavy in your hands. I know how it feels when the room is quiet and your heart gets loud. But listen to me, beloved. The quiet around you is not proof that you are alone. The delay is not proof that you have been forgotten. Tonight is not a punishment. Tonight is a refuge. You are not lying awake because I abandoned you. You are awake because your soul is longing for the one thing it was always meant to have, my nearness. And I have not withheld that from you. You are waiting, but I am working while you wait. While you replay and rehearse and try to predict every outcome, I am already moving in places you cannot see. I am arranging what you could never force. I am protecting you from what you cannot discern. I am aligning doors, timing, hearts, details quietly, perfectly, lovingly. Not because you have earned it, but because I am faithful. Not because you have prayed the perfect prayer, but because I know your need before you speak. And even if nothing looks changed yet, you are still loved, still chosen, still safe, still mine. Your life is not on hold in my eyes. Your calling has not expired. Your name is not crossed out because the answer has not arrived. Do you hear me? Waiting does not disqualify you. It does not diminish you. It does not reduce my affection for you. You are held, not because everything is fixed, but because I am here. So take a breath and let your shoulders drop. Let tonight be the first night you stop fighting for control that never belonged to you. If you're receiving this tonight, tap like so this word reaches someone else who feels alone, and subscribe for nightly words that lead you into peace. And now, child, stay with me a little longer. Let me speak over your waiting. Let me quiet what has been loud. Let me hold what has been heavy. I did not bring you here to be tormented by your thoughts. I brought you here to be held. I see what you don't say out loud, beloved. I see the way you smile in the daytime and unravel in the quiet. I see you replaying that conversation, what you should have said, what they meant when they paused, why the tone felt different, why the answer wasn't clear. I see you checking for signs, searching the smallest details for proof that you're not forgotten. I see you watching the clock, measuring your worth by how long it has been, counting days like they are evidence against you. I see the plans you keep building in your mind, the backup plans you build behind the plans, the way you try to predict every outcome so you won't be disappointed again. I see you scrolling for reassurance, checking your phone, checking the door, checking your heart, checking your own emotions, like you're trying to manage a storm by staring at the waves. I see you asking, what if it doesn't work? What if it never changes? What if I missed it? What if I'm too late? And I see how tired you are after carrying questions that never let you sleep. And hear me, your restlessness is not proof of failure. It is proof you've been carrying what was never yours to carry. You have been trying to hold tomorrow with today's strength. You have been spending tomorrow's breath in the middle of tonight. You have been lifting outcomes, timelines, and other people's choices, as if they were assigned to your hands, as if your worry could keep you safe. But worry has never been your shelter. Control has never been your peace. Not because you're faithless, but because you're tired. Not because you don't trust, but because you've been hurt before. Not because you are weak, but because you have been strong for too long, in the wrong way, strong enough to keep showing up, but exhausted from trying to carry what only I can carry. You have tried to pray, and the words felt small. You have tried to be brave, and your chest felt tight. You have tried to be still, and your mind got louder. I know. I am not offended by your humanity. I am not distant because you are weary. So let me give you permission tonight. It is okay to be exhausted. It is okay to be confused. It is okay if your prayer is only a breath, only a whisper, only a tear that falls before you can explain it. I still hear you. I hear every breath, every ache, every unspoken sentence you swallow in the dark. When you do not know what to say, I am not guessing, I am knowing. When you cannot hold it together, you are not falling away from me. You are finally reaching the edge of yourself, where my strength begins. And now, beloved, now let me tell you what I am doing while you feel like nothing is moving. You keep asking it in the quiet, beloved, even if you don't say the words. Am I still with you while you wait? Did I step back? Did I change my mind? Did I move on to someone else? And hear me clearly tonight. Yes, I am with you, especially now. I am closest in the places where you feel most unsure, because I do not leave my children to figure out darkness alone. My presence does not depend on your progress. My love does not flicker when your timeline stretches. You think silence means absence. You have learned in this world that when voices get quiet, hearts have moved on. But my silence is not like human silence. My silence is not neglect. My silence is not punishment. My silence is not rejection. My silence is setup. It is the holy pause where I am building what you keep trying to rush, where I am forming what you keep trying to force, where I am preparing you to receive what would crush you if it came too soon. The wait is not rejection, it is ordained sequence. There are pieces you cannot see yet, and if I answered you the way you demanded, you would call it mercy, but later you would realize it was not safe. So I delay, not to tease you, but to keep you. I close, not to harm you, but to shield you. I quiet the noise, not because I am far, but because I am bringing order to what has been chaotic, aligning what has been misaligned, cleansing what has been contaminated, and yes, protecting you from what you cannot yet discern. I make things beautiful in their time, not in your panic, not in your hurry, not in your midnight bargaining, in their time. And your time is being prepared, your answer is being purified, your path is being cleared, your heart is being strengthened. There is a timing that fits the weight of what you asked for, and I will not deliver a promise into hands that are still bleeding from the last disappointment. I am gentle with you, even when you don't understand me. And while you think nothing is happening, I am already arranging. I am already aligning. I am already moving people you haven't met yet, shifting conversations you will never overhear, softening what has been hard, blocking what would have wounded you, and opening what will not require you to beg. I am already ahead of you, writing peace into places you haven't reached, placing provision in rooms you haven't walked into, setting a table where you thought there would only be lack. So do not measure my nearness by my volume. Do not measure my faithfulness by your clock. If you are in the in-between, it does not mean I forgot you. It means I am preparing you. And now, beloved, let me show you this next truth. While you wait, I work deep in the unseen places where answers are forming. While you wait, I work, beloved, quietly, deeply, perfectly. You keep looking for movement you can measure, a sign you can screenshot, a sentence that ends the suspense. But I am not limited to what you can track. I am moving in the unseen places, in the hidden rooms, in the quiet corners of your story where you cannot stand watch. And just because you do not see my hands does not mean my hands are still. I am healing what you did not know was bleeding. I am touching the places you learned to ignore because you had to keep going. I am mending what cracked under pressure, restoring what drained in disappointment, strengthening what grew weak from carrying too much for too long. I am building stamina in you not to punish you with delay, but to prepare you for endurance, so the very thing you prayed for will not become the very thing that overwhelms you when it arrives. And I am softening hearts you cannot change. You have tried to explain yourself. You have tried to prove yourself. You have tried to stay perfect so you would be chosen, stayed quiet so you would be kept, stayed available so you would not be forgotten. But hear me. I can reach places your words cannot reach. I can turn what is rigid into what is receptive. I can bring conviction where you only found resistance. I can open understanding where you only met walls. I am working on conversations you have not been invited into, decisions you will never sit in on, motives you cannot see, intentions you cannot discern, and I am doing it without requiring you to exhaust yourself. I am also closing doors that are not safe. You called it delay, but I called it mercy. You called it rejection, but I called it protection. Some things did not happen because I refused to hand you a blessing that would become a burden. Some doors did not open because what was behind them would have cost you your peace, your purity, your future. I am not taking from you. I am keeping you. I am not withholding love. I am guarding your life. Look at how I grow things. Roots before fruit. A seed in darkness before a field in color. A foundation set deep before a house can rise and stand. Do you think the seed is abandoned because it cannot see the sun? Do you think the roots are failing because they are hidden underground? No, beloved, what is hidden is not wasted. What is quiet is not absent. What looks like nothing is often where everything is happening. Not because you have all the details, but because I have the whole map. Not because you can predict the outcome, but because I already hold it. Not because you can see the next step, but because I have already gone before you and made a way. You are not stuck, you are being positioned. You are not forgotten, you are being aligned. You are not behind, you are being prepared. So let this truth settle your nervous system tonight. Your part is not panic, your part is trust. Your part is not to force doors, chase answers, or punish yourself with endless overthinking. Your part is to stay close to me, to breathe, to obey what I've already told you, and to rest where you are while I work where you cannot go. Be still. Let me carry the weight. Let me handle what you cannot. And in this sacred in-between, let peace return to you because I am moving, even now. Beloved, I know why you keep your hands tight around the wheel. I know control has felt like responsibility to you. It has sounded like maturity. It has masqueraded as wisdom. You told yourself, if I think it through enough, if I plan enough, if I stay alert enough, I won't be disappointed again. But listen, control has been charging you interest. It has been taking your sleep as payment. It has been stealing your tenderness, draining your joy, tightening your chest, keeping your mind on patrol, as if peace is something you must earn by effort. And you have called it being strong. But I call it being tired. You were never meant to manage everything that could go wrong. You were never meant to hold every outcome in your hands, to replay every detail, to predict every reaction, to force every door. That is not your assignment. That is not your burden. That is not your job. And tonight, I am not asking you to fight harder. I am inviting you to release. Let go and watch me work. Not because you gave up, but because you gave it over. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally trusted me to carry what you cannot. Surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. Surrender is the moment you stop arguing with reality and start resting in my presence. Surrender is the holy decision to say, God, I will not ruin this night by trying to solve what only you can sustain. So do this with me right now, quietly. Unclench your jaw. You don't have to brace for impact. Drop your shoulders. You don't have to hold yourself together by force. Open your hands, yes, even if only in your heart, and take one slow exhale, long enough to tell your nervous system the truth. You don't have to solve tonight. You don't have to fix tonight. You don't have to chase tonight. Tonight is for rest. Tonight is for trust. Tonight is for being held. And here is what happens the moment you release control. You make room for my peace to return. Peace does not rush into a clenched heart. Peace settles where surrender makes space. When you loosen your grip, you can finally feel that I have been holding you the whole time. Now, anchor yourself in what I have already spoken. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will make your path straight. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made known to me, and my peace, which surpasses understanding, will guard your heart and your mind. That is not poetry, beloved. That is protection. That is my promise over your waiting, and it begins the moment you let go. Beloved, remember the pattern. You are not the first to stand in the space between what I promised and what you can prove. You are not the first to feel your heart race while your eyes search the horizon for evidence. This season is not new to me. I have always been the God who works in the in-between when you can't yet point to the outcome, but I have already set the miracle in motion. Look at Israel at the edge of the Red Sea. They could hear the enemy behind them. They could see the water in front of them, and panic told them, this is the end. They stood at the border of impossibility, and fear tried to make my promise sound foolish. But I did not bring them out to abandon them. I brought them out to show them who I am. The path did not appear when they felt brave. The sea did not part when they finally understood. The way opened when they obeyed and stayed close when they took the next step with trembling hands and a trusting heart. Do you hear me? The obstacle was not the conclusion. It was the stage where I revealed my power. And remember Hannah. She was not loud in the way people respect. She was not impressive in the way crowds applaud. She was a woman with quiet grief, tears that kept falling, and a prayer that felt like it was stuck in her throat. She stood at the altar carrying a longing she could not explain to anyone who had never waited for something that mattered that much. But I saw her, I heard her, I counted her tears, and I did not call them weakness, I called them worship. Before there was a testimony in her arms, there were tears on her face. Before there was laughter in her home, there was surrender in her spirit, and I did not forget her in the in-between. I met her there. And remember Peter on the water. He was steady as long as his eyes stayed on me. But the moment he locked onto the waves, how high they were, how loud they were, how close they felt, fear rose like the storm itself. And that is what happens to you, beloved, when you measure your future by your circumstances. But when Peter cried out, I was already within reach. I did not lecture him while he sank. I grabbed him. I held him. I brought him back to stability, not because the wind had stopped, but because I was near. I am the same God tonight, still making a way where there was none, still hearing prayers that sound like breath, still parting seas, still opening wombs, still steadying feet that feel unsteady. So do not call your waiting wasted. Do not call your delay denial. Between the promise and the proof, I am working, protecting, preparing, aligning, faithful in the silence, present in the dark. And now, beloved, now let me speak to the specific kind of waiting that keeps you awake, the kind that starts whispering after midnight, the kind that replays every fear when the lights go out. Stay with me. Let my peace take the microphone tonight. Beloved, I know what happens when the house goes quiet. I know what happens when the lights go out and your mind turns the volume up. You lay down, and suddenly the questions stand up. The what-ifs line up like shadows on the wall. What if you missed your moment? What if you said the wrong thing? What if you chose wrong? What if time is running out? What if nothing changes? You replay old scenes with new endings. You rewrite conversations you cannot redo. You count days you cannot get back. You measure yourself by a clock you were never meant to obey, and you call it thinking, but it is torment. You call it preparation, but it is exhaustion. Listen to me. The night is not your enemy, but your thoughts have been trying to become your master. You have been letting fear hold the microphone, letting worry preach you a sermon, letting anxiety narrate your future as if it knows my plans. And it has left you tired before the morning even arrives. It has taken your breath, tightened your chest, and made you feel alone in a room where I have been standing the whole time. So tonight, I am asking you to trade the spiral for a whisper, trade the racing for returning. Do not be consumed with anxiety, beloved. Bring it to me. Bring the request, bring the ache, bring the unsaid. Talk to me with honesty, with thanksgiving, with a heart that is willing to be held. And as you do, I will give you what your mind cannot manufacture, my peace. A peace that does not need full explanation. A peace that does not wait for every door to open. A peace that stands guard at the door of your heart and your mind like a watchman in the night. Because peace is not earned, it is received. Not because the problem is gone, but because you are held. Not because you finally figured it out, but because I am faithful. Not because you have control, but because you have me. And tonight, peace is your proof that you trust me more than your thoughts. So when the what if comes, answer it with worship. When regret tries to pull you backward, let my mercy pull you back to this moment. When fear says hurry, let my spirit say, be still. And if you need words to hold on to when you cannot hold on to sleep, take this simple mantra and let it breathe with you. I am safe. God is awake. God is working. Say it again, quietly, until your body believes what your soul already knows. I am safe. God is awake. God is working. Now, beloved, as your mind begins to quiet, I want you to hear this next truth, because it will steady you even more. Waiting does not change who you are. The delay does not rename you. The silence does not unchoose you. Come closer, and let me speak to your identity in the middle. Beloved, hear me. You are still mine in the middle. Still welcome, still chosen, still invited. Not when the answer arrives. Not when you finally feel brave again. Not when you can point to the proof and say, see, it worked out. Right here, before the evidence, before the applause, before the open door, you are still welcome, still chosen, still invited. You have been tempted to believe that waiting is a sign you did something wrong, that the delay is a verdict, that the silence is a way of me saying, you are not enough. But that is not my voice. Shame is loud, but it is not truthful. Shame will point to your tiredness and call it weakness. Shame will point to your questions and call it unbelief. Shame will point to your tears and call you less spiritual. But I do not measure you that way. I do not stand over you with a stopwatch. I do not love you only when you perform well. I am near to the weary, close to the broken-hearted, gentle with the burdened. Your exhaustion does not offend me. It draws me closer. Do you think you are disqualified because you are tired? Because your prayer has been small? Because some nights all you can offer is a sigh and a sentence you can barely finish? Beloved, I have never confused your humanity with failure. I know the weight you've been carrying. I know the years that taught you to brace for disappointment. I know the private battles you fight in your mind while you smile for everyone else. And I am telling you tonight, waiting may pause the outcome, but it does not pause, my love. Waiting may slow the visible, but it does not cancel the calling I placed on you. Your silent season is not punishment, it is preparation. I am not withholding to hurt you. I am shaping you to hold what you asked for without losing yourself. I am building trust deeper than your feelings. I am forming steadiness that does not collapse when the wind changes. I am teaching your spirit to rest in my voice, not in the noise of results. Because what I am doing in you matters as much as what you are asking me to do for you. So stop reading your life like rejection. Stop calling yourself forgotten. Stop assuming that because it's taking time, you are behind. You are not behind. You are being led. You are not overlooked. You are being covered. You are not stalled. You are being strengthened. And I am not asking you to earn your place in my heart. I am reminding you that you already have it. Stay close, beloved. Let this truth settle you. I am forming something that will be worth the wait. What is being prepared will not require you to shrink to receive it. What is coming will meet a version of you that is steadier, softer, wiser, and free. And when the door opens, you will know it did not open because you forced it. It opened because I ordained it. Rest in that. You are still chosen in the middle. Beloved, I know the impatience that rises when you feel ready, and the door still will not move. I know how your heart says, "Why not now?" I know the way you look at time, like it is a judge, like it is proof you are falling behind. But listen to me, you are not late. You are being led, and my delays are not denials, they are design. They are mercy with a calendar. They are protection, wearing the clothing of waiting. There are things you begged me for in an earlier version of your life that would have broken you in that season. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were unprepared. Not because I wanted you to suffer, but because I wanted you to survive what you asked for. Some doors must open later because if they opened sooner, you would have walked in with wounds still bleeding, boundaries still weak, discernment still forming, strength still shallow. And I love you too much to hand you a yes that would become your harm. Not because I am withholding, but because I am guarding. Not because I forgot, but because I am aligning. Not because I am slow, but because I am safe. I can see what you cannot see, the motives behind the offer, the cost behind the opportunity, the hidden clauses behind the quick answer. You see a door, I see the hallway on the other side. You see arrival, I see what you would have to carry once you get there. And I will not rush you into a room that requires a weight you have not yet been strengthened to hold. While you count days, I prepare details. While you wonder if it will happen, I am arranging what you cannot orchestrate. The right people at the right time, the right resources, the right confirmations, the right conditions. I am shifting schedules you cannot touch. I am moving hearts you cannot persuade. I am protecting you from counterfeit open doors that look like relief, but lead to regret. And I am building you into someone who will not lose peace the moment the promise arrives. So stop fighting the calendar as if it is your enemy. Stop measuring my love by your timeline. My timing is not a punishment, it is a covering. My pace is not neglect, it is care. And the same hand that says, "Wait," is the hand that holds your future steady. So tonight, beloved, let's place it in my hands. The dream, the relationship, the breakthrough, the decision, the unanswered prayer, place it here. Open your palms in your spirit and say, "I release the rush. I release the panic. I release the need to force what you have already scheduled. Rest now. I am protecting you with timing, and what is meant for you will not miss you. You are safe because I am the one who opens the door, and I am the one who decides when." Now come closer, beloved, not with performance, not with perfect words, just with honesty. Because this is the quiet moment where you stop rehearsing outcomes and start resting in my hands. This is the doorway where worry ends and trust begins. I want you to name it, privately, right where you are. Not for me to discover because I already know, but for your heart to stop hiding behind vague fear. What have you been carrying? Is it the relationship that keeps you guessing, the silence that keeps you checking, the ache of not knowing where you stand? Is it the health report, the symptom you don't mention out loud, the appointment on the calendar you keep trying not to look at? Is it finances, the bills, the uncertainty, the pressure to provide, the feeling that you are one moment away from not having enough? Is it family, tension, the distance, the conflict, the words that were said, the apology that never came? Is it your calling, the dream that feels delayed, the purpose that feels too big, the fear that you waited too long? Is it grief, the empty space, the memory, the heartbreak that still tightens your throat when the room gets quiet? Bring it to me. Not all at once if you can't. One piece at a time. Give me your timeline. Give me your expectations. Give me your fear. Give me your need to know. Give me your need to control. Give me the mental checking, the endless planning, the late night bargaining. Give me the questions you keep carrying like stones in your pockets. Give me the pressure to fix what you cannot fix. Give me the responsibility you picked up because you thought nobody else would hold it. Give me the shame that whispers you should be further by now. Give me the part of you that is tired of being strong. Open your hands and your spirit, beloved, and place it here. I can hold what you can't. I do not drop what you place in my hands. I do not misplace your tears. I do not forget what matters to you. When you release it to me, it is not floating in uncertainty, it is resting in safety. And now, let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let your breath slow down until your body agrees with your soul. You are not alone, and you are not the one who has to carry tomorrow. Now let us pray not to force an answer, but to receive peace. Not to hurry me, but to come home to me. Stay here with me, beloved. Let your surrender become your shelter. Now let us pray, beloved, softly, honestly, without trying to impress me. Come to me as you are, tired, worn, uncertain, maybe lonelier than you wanted to admit, maybe carrying questions you can't solve and feelings you can't organize. And yet you are here, and I am here. Thank you, Father, for being present in this room, present in this night, present in the places in me that still ache. Thank you that I am not praying into emptiness. Thank you that your attention does not drift, that your love does not weaken after midnight, that your mercy is not irritated by my need. Father, you see the anxiety I've been wrestling. You see how my mind has been running ahead, trying to predict, trying to prevent, trying to control. And tonight I obey your gentle instruction. I will not be anxious about anything, but in everything, this relationship, this decision, this money pressure, this health concern, this calling, this waiting, I bring my requests to you. I bring them with thanksgiving because you have carried me this far. I thank you for what you've already done that I forgot to count. I thank you for doors you closed that I now recognize as protection. I thank you for breath in my lungs, for food, for shelter, for the fact that I am still here. And now, Lord, let your peace that surpasses understanding, guard my heart and guard my mind like a holy watchman in the night. Help me release the wheel. Help me loosen what my fear keeps tightening. I confess that control has not made me safer. It has made me tired. So I give you my need to know. I give you my need to fix. I give you the timeline I keep checking and the outcomes I keep rehearsing. Teach my spirit the quiet strength of trust. And Holy Spirit, where my words are weak, pray for me. Where I can only sigh, intercede for me. Where I don't even know what to ask for anymore, carry my heart before the Father with groanings too deep for language, and translate my weariness into a prayer that reaches heaven. And now I ask you to cover my sleep. Let this bed become a place of healing, not a battlefield of thoughts. Quiet, intrusive memories. Silence the sudden fears. Break the cycle of replaying and rehearsing. Let my breathing slow and deepen. Inhale peace, exhale pressure, relax my shoulders, unclench my jaw, steady my chest. Restore my body, restore my mind, restore my nervous system. Set angels around this home, keep me through the night. And if I wake, meet me quickly with calm. Remind me that I am safe, that you are near, that you do not sleep, and that I do not have to solve anything in the dark. I choose rest as worship. I choose peace as trust. I will lie down and sleep because you, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Even tonight, you are already working. Amen. Beloved, now that you have prayed, do not pick the burden back up with your mouth. Don't let the night steal what surrender just placed into my hands, because your words can either reopen the door to fear or they can align your heart with what I am already doing. So listen closely, and let these declarations become the gentle rhythm that slows your breathing, steadies your mind, and quiets the trembling places in you. Say this with me, even if it's only a whisper. I am not alone. I am not forgotten. I am not overlooked. God is with me. God is near me. God is for me. God is working. God is faithful. Not because I feel it every moment, but because He does not change. Not because I see the whole picture, but because He already holds it. Now speak peace into your waiting. What is for me will not miss me. What God has written for my life cannot pass me by. I will not chase what belongs to me. It will come in its time. And what is not for me will not trap me. What is not assigned to my purpose will not hold me hostage. What is counterfeit will be exposed. What is harmful will be blocked. I am protected by God's timing. I am covered by God's wisdom. I am guided by God's hand. And now, beloved, declare rest, because rest is faith in a quiet voice. I will sleep in peace, not because I know the outcome, but because I know my God. I will lie down and release control. I will stop negotiating with tomorrow. I will stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios in the dark. Tonight, my mind will be guarded. Tonight, my heart will be held. Tonight, my body will relax. Tonight, peace will do what panic never could. And if you need a public act of trust, something simple that strengthens you and encourages someone else, then write this where you are and let it be your testimony in advance. God is working while I wait. Let those words be your agreement with heaven. Let them be a light for another tired soul scrolling in the night, wondering if silence means absence. Your declaration is not noise, it is alignment. Now, beloved, breathe. Let the striving end here. Let the fear lose its voice. You have placed it in my hands, and I do not fail what I hold. And now, receive this final blessing before you sleep. Beloved, receive this now, not as a wish, but as a blessing. I place my peace over you like a covering. I settle your nervous system. I quiet the alarms that have been ringing inside your body. I loosen the tight places in your chest. I soften your forehead. I release your shoulders from the invisible weight you've been carrying. I let your breathing become steady again, deep enough to remind your whole being that you are not in danger, you are in my care. And I bless your mind tonight. I bless the place where thoughts have been loud and relentless. I stand guard at the doorway of your imagination, and I do not allow fear to preach to you anymore. I silence the accusations. I interrupt the spirals. I cancel the rehearsal of worst-case endings. I give you permission to stop solving what I did not assign you to solve. Let the racing slow. Let the noise dim. Let the need to figure it all out fall asleep before you do. I bless your home with safety. I watch over the doors you cannot watch over. I cover the rooms you cannot cover. I stand in the hallways of your night, and I keep you. I do not sleep. I do not drift. I do not look away. The one who watches over you neither slumbers nor sleeps. And that means you are not alone in the dark, not for one moment, not for one breath. Even if the world is quiet, heaven is not. Even if you feel still, I am not absent. You are waiting, but I am working already. In places you can't see, in hearts you can't reach, in details you can't arrange, I am preparing, protecting, and aligning, and I will not be late with what I have written for you. So rest, beloved, not because every question has been answered, but because you are held by the answer. Not because you have control, but because you have me. If you wake in the night, do not panic, return. Whisper my name and let that be enough. Let my peace meet you quickly. Let my presence settle you completely. Be still, that's enough. You are safe. And now, if you know someone who is waiting in silence, someone whose nights have been heavy, share this with them. Let them feel what you just felt, held, covered, remembered. And if you want this kind of reassurance each night, subscribe and stay close. I will meet you here again, and I will keep speaking peace over your waiting. And tell me in the comments what you're waiting on. Name it simply. Name it honestly, and we will pray over it together. Now close your eyes, beloved. My hands are on your tomorrow, and you can sleep in peace.